Okay, happy Thursday, everyone. I know this is a hard time,
Yeah,
so I
and I
hope
think we
everyone
hit on a good
um,
topic of that's where
watching
the
the
old
replay,
man
if
folks
you
in the
want to
business
ask
being
questions, ask below for sure when you're watching this replay. But I'm super excited to do some meal prep with you. And if you're on the Zoom, ask questions too in the chat. You can definitely do that. We are going to start off with one thing. I know my VIPers know the difference between meal planning and prepping, but that's a huge thing. When you hear meal planning, you're like, meal prepping, If you don't if you don't meal plan, don't do meal prep. Start slow. Do a meal plan. A meal plan, I'll show you mine, is just a plan. And it doesn't mean you have to stick to it every day. Allow yourself to be able to pivot. Sometimes we're sick of cooking. Sometimes something comes up, a kid's sick. Sometimes we don't feel like something. But make a plan. We know with our workouts, with, writing a gratitude journal, we are more accountable if we're going to write it down. And especially for meal planning, if you're going to buy the groceries in advance and you have those already in your house. So meal planning is just a plan. Use the Faster Way guide, circle things that you like. There's some really, really good recipes on there that are super simple that you can level up with different spices and everything. But definitely do that. Now, if you are someone that has mastered meal planning, that's amazing. Then maybe you go to something and you do a little bit of prep. And that is just preparing your food a little bit in advance. And I'm going to show you a couple things that I have prepped this week that are really, really good. So one thing, if you like cooking, if you don't like cooking, if you like food, if you don't like food, we're going to start this out. I know it's a little weird, but I'm going to share my screen for a sec. And I want you just to relax. I want you to have fun. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Share sound. Okay, I just want you to have fun.
The haters, man, cause I got floor seats at the Lakers. See me on the 50-yard line with the Raiders. Let Ali, he told me I'm the greatest. I got the fever for the flavor of a crowd pleaser. DJ play another from the president, sure.
Oh, hold on.
The east to the
Okay, I just mastered how to share that. My purpose of that is not because I love to dance, but I really do, is when you're meal planning, if it's something whether you like or you don't like, pair it with something that you like, right? If you like listening to music, put on your favorite music, put on your favorite podcast, drink a cocktail, whatever you are going to do to enjoy meal planning and prepping, do that. Speaking of cocktails, I have two that I wanted to show you. Oh, here they are. So this is my favorite wine. It's called Usual. It's low sugar. I don't promote it or anything. You guys know, I just like it because it's individual bottles. I found this after doing Start Faster Way. My husband doesn't drink wine. I didn't want to open up a whole bottle of wine. So this is a great option. If you are not a drinker, I found this non-alcoholic drink. It is called Crisp and Crude, and it is a Paloma drink. It's really, really good. So if you're feeling like you like to drink and that's fun, and you want to pair it with a cocktail, your favorite cocktail, do that. Just enjoy meal planning. I really want you to remember your why of why you're eating healthy food, why you joined the Faster Way, why you want to be there for your kids and grandkids, and that's really, really important when we're thinking about food because we have to eat. So why not eat healthy? Why not eat foods from the ground, from the mother that has a mother, not from the mother. Well, that's true. So I really want you to remember that and really start to enjoy what you're eating. This is a food freedom lifestyle, right? No food's off limit. No food is bad. So all foods are good. They're fueling our body well. So totally. And so I want you to remember that I really want you to enjoy the food, enjoy what you're eating. So I could talk all day about this, but one thing also about meal prepping and preparing food that I think is really important is having the right containers. So these are my favorite containers. These are 2 sections. I know I've shared these with my VIP group. These are 3 sections. So having that and having food ready, prepared, you can put leftovers in here. You can put extra rice, veggies, whatever you want to put in here. It's really, really helpful. All of us live busy lives, whether you work at home, work out of your home, whatever you're doing, we're all running around like crazy people right now, especially in December. So have something ready to go so that you're avoiding McDonald's. And there are time and a place for McDonald's, but let's be as intentional as we can, eating at home as much as possible. We know what's in our food. So I think that's important. These are 2 things that are really easy to prep for the week. And when you're prepping, it just means cooking a lot of it, right? I make sweet potatoes. These are just cut up little sweet potatoes. I roast them with olive oil, salt, and pepper. I have this whole container. I can put it into some of the containers. I can, oh, where are those from? Oh, yes, they're from Amazon. I'll post it. But having some sweet potatoes, this is an awesome carb. You can use that. Speaking of eating bird food, one of my favorite websites, these are the cinnamon raisin protein balls. Now, Fasterway has a ton of good recipes. I am not personally a huge fan of chocolate. I know it's weird, but I love these. These taste just like a cinnamon raisin cookie. You can put these into little Ziploc bags in the freezer. So therefore they're grab and go, right? Make some, put 3 in there, and those are good to go. Those are just 2 things that are super easy to prep in advance that you can have. So what the recipes that I sent you, and I may not cook everything since you guys aren't going to cook, but chicken is super easy to marinate. Right now, we're coming into grilling season. It's going to be really, really nice out. Wouldn't it be great if you had some chicken already prepped and you're like, let me just grab it out of the freezer and let's grill it? Amazing. Chicken is awesome. With these marinades, you can also marinate tofu. You can do shrimp. You can do pork. You can do flank steak, whatever you want. I did a fajita marinade, an Italian marinade, and I did a teriyaki. My family loves Asian foods. It's also a great way to get your kids to eat some foods they may not eat. If your family likes a particular flavor, like a spicy flavor or, a Mexican flavor, then try something along that lines of that flavor, and maybe they will eat that food, like a vegetable that they normally don't eat. I will often try to do a lot of teriyaki and all of that because then I'll get my kids to eat it. So what we're going to do is, here we are. My husband helped me pre-cut the chicken. So what you can do with these chicken marinades is you can put them in the fridge. I recommend putting them in the fridge up to 24 hours and then using them. I really wouldn't put them in longer because then the marinade tends to get the chicken really mushy. And that's not great. So if you're not going to use it if you're not going to cook the chicken or whatever protein you're using in the next 24 hours, I would freeze them. So what I did is, this is the fajita one. I will double bag it. I will label it, say fajita, so I know what's in here, because I've definitely been in a situation where something's in my freezer and I have no idea what it is. I also like to keep on my freezer a little board of everything that I have in there, like an inventory of what's frozen, and then cross it off or erase it when you're done with it, because it's really helpful when you are meal planning. Meal plan or grocery shop in your house. Go to your pantry, go to your freezer, go to your fridge, and use the ingredients that you have first. Food is really expensive now. We don't need to be buying a ton of extra food. And doing something like this, putting some meats or proteins in marinade, buy the protein when it's on sale. If you shop at Costco or when you know it's going to be on sale, you can definitely do that and save money. So I will put that. I will also put the date that I put it in the freezer. So this just says 5/23 for May 23. These will last like up to 3 months in your freezer. After that, they may get freezer burn. So I always like to put the date. So this is fajita. And what I did was 1.5 pounds, and I sliced it thin like fajita chicken in here. And then what you're going to do, I double bag it. So then you just open it, and then we are just going to put the seasonings in here. Let's see, hold on. So in the fajita seasoning, I'll do this quick. We do 1/3 cup of olive oil. You can also use avocado oil. Then you are going to put in, this is like a little thing. Okay, so we've got olive oil in there, avocado oil, whatever is your preference. Then we are also going to put in an apple cider vinegar. Oh, one marinade that's really, really good is the apple cider chicken from Eating Bird Food. It is like a staple. It's the easiest recipe ever. I should post that. That is a really good recipe. Then we're going to put 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar in there. And you just put it in the bag. Put everything in the bag. Now you can buy marinades like Primal Kitchen and Tezemes, but these are just as easy to make. You probably have all these ingredients and spices at home. And when you're feeding your family good food, how does that make you feel? You feel like a proud mama, right? You're like, yes, I nailed it today. I fed my kids dinner and it was healthy and we ate it. So that's always a win. My family I always have grilled chicken if they don't like what I make, because I do experiment with some foods, but I always have some extra grilled chicken just so they can make it and they clean it up. I also always have clean deli meats in my house if my kids won't eat what I'm having, but they have to make it and cleaning up. That's my rule. I make one meal. So what we're also going to put in here is chili powder. And the good thing about the marinades is, you can adjust it based on what your family likes. If you like a little bit more spicy, put in some more of the seasoning. If not, you can change it around a little bit. So that's 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Garlic powder. I use garlic and onion powder more than like anything. I buy those like in bulk. So we'll put 2 teaspoons of garlic powder in there. A teaspoon of oregano. Oregano. We're also going to put a teaspoon of cumin in there. And a teaspoon of salt. And everyone should be using like a real salt, like a pink Himalayan salt. You don't want to use that Morton's white salt. And it is pink. And, my favorite color is pink. So I love to use that. It's just a more pure, not processed salt. So that's why we like to use that salt. Half a teaspoon pepper. And it all just goes right in here. You can also put in some fresh cilantro or parsley. I'm going to put in some fresh cilantro later because it is fajita. Some people don't like cilantro because it tastes like soap in their mouth. So you could just leave that out, or you could just use parsley. Or you can also, if you don't want to buy fresh, you can use half the amount of dried. So this calls for 1 tablespoon of fresh cilantro. You can use half a tablespoon of cilantro or parsley. So then you're just going to mix it up. What you can also do, and you'll see this on the sheet, you can put on top of there, you can slice up some peppers, yellow, red, green, orange, whatever you like. Rainbow of vegetables. Always love that. You can also put some onions in here. So you are going to make this as a chicken fajita. Then you're going to bake it on the sheet pan, and voila, you've got chicken fajitas ready. Serve it with rice, serve it with tortilla chips, tortillas, anything that you like. A taco night is always a great idea. And you can have taco night. Theme nights are an awesome idea to meal plan. So, that took me 5 minutes. So this is also a great way. You can make 3 bags of this. Put 1 in your fridge for this week, then put it in your freezer. And you can also make this for the whole week. If you wanted just to make 1 protein for 5 days, just make this and you can serve it a lot of different ways. Quesadillas, taco bowls, any of those things that we've talked about, serve it a lot of different ways. So that's one flavor. That is fajita. The next one is an Italian balsamic. So again, this one, I just cut chicken into cubes. And then you open it up, it's labeled again. And what is in the Italian is, again, 1/3 cup of olive oil. And then we're also, because this is an Italian balsamic, I'm going to show you the brand of vinegars and olive oils that I love. It's called Baker and Olive. And these are awesome. This is actually a lemon balsamic. I just ordered a bunch of flavored olive oils today. And I know this sounds so dorky, but I'm so excited because you can use those just to roast vegetables. You can use it to sprinkle on your salad. That's why you level up when you're making this food that is really simple, but you can level it up by doing some of those things. And by adding this lemon balsamic, this is leveling it up. It's making that little extra special taste. And lemon is going to be great for this Italian chicken. So we've got the olive oil, we've got the vinegar in here. Then we're going to put 2 teaspoons of honey. Now, when I'm making a marinade, I don't exactly measure everything. We know what sort of 2 teaspoons look like. So I'll just squirt 2 big squirts of honey in there. And I will do that. And then a teaspoon of, same thing with Dijon mustard, because I have a squirtable. We will put, oh, this one is like new. It's not even open. I'll put a teaspoon of that in there. Let's see. Okay, we've got Dijon mustard. And then we've got garlic cloves. I love using frozen garlic. It's so much easier and it's already all done for you. So it looks like this. You can buy this at Costco, Trader Joe's, you can buy it anywhere, but this is just pure garlic. A lot of times you'll buy those jars and there's a lot of additives in there. There's a lot of, fillers in there, but this is just straight up garlic. And you just pop these frozen cubes. They also make ginger cubes, which are super, super helpful. I love to cook, but I don't love to chop. So that is in there. Then you also can add parsley in here. We've got dried, I didn't even have parsley and basil. So you know what I'm going to do in here? It's an Italian chicken. I'm going to add Italian seasoning. Why not? So I'm just going to sub that. I am going to sub the basil and oregano and the parsley just for this. So that is 4 teaspoons of this. You can just plop in here because it is an Italian chicken. Italian seasoning is also something I go through a lot. Then we're going to do a teaspoon of salt. And then some pepper. And how you can make this Italian chicken, again, you can put it in I have all the different directions at the end. You can bake it, you can saute it, and you can also put it in the crock pot. You could even put this in your air fryer. So there's lots of different ways, or, if the pieces are big enough, you can grill it or put it in a grill little basket. So again, you have this. This is an Italian one. So you can put zucchini, you can put broccoli, you can put peppers, anything that you want on top of here. And then your dinner is done. Again, good mom, like healthy mom. I feel good about what I'm doing. This is a teriyaki one. I can tell you what's in it because I feel bad you guys aren't cooking. So in here, you can put an avocado oil or peanut oil. It's also going to be rice vinegar, soy sauce. You can use coconut aminos. That is gluten-free, or tamari they're both gluten-free. Honey, sesame oil, and black pepper. So that's what's going to go in here. And then on here, you can put peppers, you can put sauteed snap peas, any vegetables. This is what's really nice is you can customize it for what your family likes. Now, this would be really good with some brown rice noodles or rice. You can make a rice bowl. You can, there's lots of things that you can do with teriyaki chicken that would be really, really yummy. So, in 10 minutes, I've made all these meals. So marinating, I'm a huge, huge fan of marinating the meats and saving those. If you have a big enough freezer, it's a great way to do that. The other thing that I was going to make tonight, and my philosophy is cook less, eat more, right? So what does that mean? That means when we're making the food, whether it's a meal that you've planned or you're, doing a little bit of prep, make a lot of it. Because the last thing we want to do this summer is be in a hot kitchen. We want to be out there with our kids. We want to be playing. We want to be outdoors. The whole point is to spend more time with our family. We're living this healthy lifestyle so we can have more energy, right? We can be with our kids. We can be with our spouses. So this next dish that I'm going to make is it is a veggie, egg, and ham casserole. So, and it has cheese in it too. If you don't eat cheese, then don't add it or use dairy free. You can also make this vegetarian by not adding the ham in it. If you want to add sausage in it, you can do that. You can add bacon. Again, personalize it. Now, this whole dish, it's like an egg dish, is going to go in a 9x13. This has 12 servings. 12 servings. That is for every day of the week. And each serving has 14 grams of protein. So we want to be getting between really 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Probably 25 to 40. So you can have 2 slices of this and have some berries, and you've had an awesome complete meal. Again, put it in a meal prep container, and then you have something for on the go, which is really, really great. Now, this is super easy. What you do, I'm just going to turn on my oven. You put some shiitake mushrooms. Can you freeze it? Yes. Yes. That is the best thing. You cut it up, you bake it. You want to bake it, and then you can freeze it. And those are also things that you can put in your fridge. Like if you had it in your freezer right now, you could defrost it for tomorrow. So, if you don't have, I meal prep for my husband, so often I will use all of that. So we're gonna saute some shiitake mushrooms. Now, I used to not like mushrooms. I used to really pretend I was allergic to them, but shiitakes are really, really good. You can fry some up in a saute pan with some sesame oil and put them, they get really crispy, and you can put them on salads, which is really great. They're also really good micronutrients. We talk a lot about macronutrients, but those are really good micronutrients. Then also in the pan with the olive oil, we have some scallions. We're gonna take, which is basically like a green onion. You're just gonna chop them up. And having a good cutting board, I will post my favorite cutting board in our group too, because that's really, really important, because we're going to be cutting lots of veggies, lots of stuff, and you also want it to go in the dishwasher, which is always key. I put everything in the dishwasher. And for those of you who haven't seen my kitchen before, I am touching all the walls of my kitchen. So if I can meal prep and plan in this kitchen, I know you can too. Okay. So I don't have a ton of space, and I can, well, you guys haven't seen my kitchen. It's a pretty messy, but I do all of this in my kitchen. So we're also going to put a red bell pepper in there. When we think about prepping, if you don't do any prep and you're like, you know, I really want to start prepping, what do we prep first? Fruits and veggies. Peppers are awesome because they will last a while. Cut up a bunch on Sunday and put them in a container, and then you'll have them grab and go. You can put them with hummus, you can put them with guacamole, you can just eat them raw and have them ready to go. So into our pan, we're also going to have some red pepper, and we're just going to chop it up. And I love the red, yellow, all those bright, bright colors. I'm not a huge fan of the green. They taste a little bit more sour to me, but so we're just gonna.
Alex, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It's on topic, but it's not something that you're making. I've seen you make the breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
So do you cook everything and then wrap it in aluminum foil and then freeze it?
Yeah.
Or how
Yeah.
is that? Okay.
So those are awesome. I'm actually going to make some gluten-free ones this weekend. I love that, again, you can personalize it for your kids. So I will make gluten-free ones for myself, or egg sandwiches. You can do that too with like English muffins. And then you can put them directly in the oven in the morning. They probably take 20 minutes. So I typically will do it right when my kids wake up and then put the oven on. But that is something that you could take on the go too, because you've got all the carbs, protein, fats right in there with all that egg. Like, stuff that with all the goodness and veggies. You could even put, I'm looking at this can right here of these Siete refried beans in there, you know, that would be great. I just wouldn't put, Nicole, things that have a high water content, like tomatoes. I wouldn't put lettuce or things like that, because it won't freeze well. Okay. So just with a little olive oil. Those are great things to do. Yeah, I'm going to make some of those this weekend. And again, what we're talking about is cook less, eat more. I'm like, almost said the wrong thing. So that's going to saute. We've got mushrooms, peppers, scallions. That looks amazing. Then what's also going to go in there are tomatoes. The recipe called for seeded tomatoes. I don't really love doing that. So I am just going to use cherry tomatoes, chop them in. You don't want them the whole time, or it's going to be more like it's going to get too sauteed like a sauce. So we're going to cook that. Then what we're going to do is, Then what we're going to do is, I already put a cup of cheese here on the bottom of a pan, a 9x13 pan. I sprayed this. You know, this is also a dish that would be a great dish for someone that just had a baby, or someone that is going through a hard time. You know, thinking of things like that, I will often do breakfast things in addition to the meal that I'm making, because it will really, really last, and it helps the family out. I always try to do a muffin, or, you know, you can make protein balls. Really, really nice. People appreciate that. Maybe a family member is sick or something. So it's really, really nice to be able to do that for people. Then what we're going to do is, in a large bowl while that's cooking, you're going to put eggs in here. We are going to also put, I'll show you. We're going to do some eggs, and this recipe also calls for egg whites. And egg whites are an awesome way to add to your scrambled eggs to get extra protein. If you're not doing this, do it, because it will just add, you'll just be more full with extra protein. You can also, I think I showed this once, add some cottage cheese to your eggs. And I know it sounds so bizarre, but it's actually really, really good. And you can add extra protein by adding that to your scrambled eggs, and they taste good. You'll surprise people by doing that. So this calls for 5 egg whites. So let's see, it's about a little more than 3/4 of a cup of egg whites that we're going to add to here. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. That's what, you know, cooking is like. We're not baking. I'm not a baker. Baking has to be very exact. Then you're going to add some eggs in here. And I would add, I'll just tell you, we'll add 7 eggs. So you're going to mix up egg whites and eggs. And then you're also going to put some broccoli in here. And you're also going to put ham. And I just got this Applegate Farm. This is a clean brand of ham. And cut that up. But as I said before, you can use sausage, you can use veggie sausage, you can leave that out altogether. Bacon would be really good. You can add all the meats in there, depending on what your family likes. And then you're going to mix that up with some milk. The recipe calls for some fat-free milk. Hi, Stace. I'm going to use almond milk. I use that and my kids don't notice. So I will do that definitely. I've already got the dairy in the cheese. I don't eat a ton of dairy, but something like this, I will add some cheese and I will feel okay about it. But as I said, you can definitely eliminate that. So as the vegetables are sauteing, you're going to put those into the casserole dish. You've also got your tomatoes and you've got your broccoli. So you've got like the rainbow in there again. You've got all those good micronutrients and macronutrients. Then you're going to put your egg on top of that. And then you're going to bake that for, I think it's, 35 minutes. 35 minutes. You've got 12 servings. You're going to slice it up. You can freeze it. You can put it in your fun little meal prep containers. And there you go. Add some berries to it. And you, again, have a full meal. Add a salad. I also made, in our recipe guide last week, I posted in our newsletter a recipe for a buffalo chicken egg casserole. You guys, it sounds a little funny. It was so good. And again, it's the same concept. Cook less, eat more. You can slice that baby up, put some berries with it, and you've got a really good meal for on the go. Put some sliced peppers, put some veggies with it. So that is really, really a great idea to do. And that's really what I encourage you guys to do, especially in Maycember, especially as we're heading into the summer. Think of the ways that you can cook smarter, not harder, you know, make more things, reuse leftovers, things like that. So I thank you guys for coming. You got the tail end, Stacy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Sarah, your client is on here.
Oh, good. Because when I tried to access it from, hey, Sarah, when I tried to access it from my email, it wouldn't work. So then I got all worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, my clients are going to be able to join. So I'm glad to actually see that it worked.
Yeah, and I'll post the replay. No, we talked Sarah. Sarah's got kids. She's going to be excited about cooking. We did some dancing. We're good. She's ready. She's looking at the meal guide. She's good. She's good.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, I love this stuff. And I'm just not just a mom, but I'm a mom who just loves to cook. And I really believe in the power of nutrition, the power of food, but also having fun along the way. So we want to really lean into that in our busy lives, lean into our food, be that good example for our kiddos, and show them that we're strong women and men and that we can eat healthy and we know how to fuel our body really, really well. So I thank you guys for coming. I'm just going to turn this off for a sec.